Professor Jentleson is a professor of public policy at Duke University. You've been working also with within the administration and current administration as an advisor. I would like to ask you about the foreign policy debate in the USA. Could you summarize for us the three main foreign policy schools in the US?
Sure. So the debate that's partly reflected in the campaign among presidential candidates, but runs deeper. It's really between three different sets of ideas about what role America should play in the world. There's the isolationists, some of whom want to just retreat, others who, one of whom just to show a little more restraint. There's the interventionists, Donald Trump in a very kind of bullying kind of way, and others that go back to the neoconservatives of the George W. Bush administration. And then there's the internationalists, more on the liberal internationalist side, that I think Secretary Clinton fits in, President Obama fits in. And so a lot of the sense of what role we should play in the world and how we should do it really fits into those areas, even though those terms aren't always used in the political discourse.
And what's the difference between the Republican Party and the Democratic Party at this moment in foreign policy? How's the debate?
You know, the main difference, I think the Republican Party has lost a lot of its own traditional internationalists that people like President George H.W. Bush, the elder, George Bush 41, and it's really become much more dominated both in who its voters are and who those are that are trying to be its leader by those that are very aggressive interventionists that really believe the United States should throw its weight around and impose its own interests on others, whether it's high tariffs on China imports or it's building a wall to keep out immigrants from Mexico or banning Muslims. And that's sort of an area that I think has left a lot of Republicans who are more traditional in their views that combine force and diplomacy, feeling a bit alienated from their own party.
Thank you. And what's a vital interest for the U.S.? How important is a vital interest in foreign policy?
Advisors are very important. I think any president surrounds themselves, he or she, with people they trust. No president can do everything. Like right now we see Secretary of State John Kerry conducting a lot of the negotiations, clearly in coordination with President Obama in the White House. Secretary of Defense is out there. So it's really a team effort that you have to be, both in terms of who your cabinet is, but also even the next layers below, who some of your thinkers are and doers are, for the whole agenda of foreign policy.
And what about the allies? Do you think that the U.S. needs to rebalance, to have a new relationship with the allies?
We have allies. One of our great strengths compared to other countries in the world, Russia or China, is we have strong alliances in really all parts of the world. I think what we're going through now with the Cold War over is an effort to rebalance these relationships so that we do it with our allies but not for them, which means there's a leadership role for the United States to play, but it's very important, whether it's in Asia or the Middle East or here in Europe, that the allies play a more active role on where our shared interests are.
And the last question, I'm not going to ask you about the next president or who is going to be the next president of the U.S. Right? Yes, but from your point of view, who are going to be the main candidates in this race?
So on the Republican side, I think what we'll see, as people drop out after some of these primaries, is Donald Trump will be in for at least a while. He may be the nominee. Senator Ted Cruz, Senator Marco Rubio will be in for a while. And then probably one other candidate, my sense is either Governor Christie of New Jersey or Governor Kasich of Ohio. Probably not Jeb Bush. I think his campaign's not been successful. The Democratic side, it's a two-person race right now. We really don't know what's going to happen. I think that Senator Sanders has presented a stronger challenge to Secretary Clinton than people thought. I don't think he will come out the nominee. If something were to happen and Secretary Clinton were to not be successful, who knows, we might see somebody else jump in late in the game. But we'll know more as time goes on.
Okay, thank you very much, Professor.
My pleasure. Mucho gusto.